Hi everyone, pleasure to be here. My name is Leo from the Scroll team. We're layer 2 on Ethereum. I'm based out in Edinburgh, so if anyone else is living out here and wants to grab a coffee or some dinner or drinks, I can obviously chat to you guys after and get your telegrams. In this session, we'll be talking about kind of payments and how, especially at Scroll, we've been kind of working super hard on transforming payments for an open economy. So essentially, the open economy is a world where founders can essentially develop impactful applications that provide value to millions of users across the world. So it doesn't matter where you live, Africa, LATAM, Europe, whatever it is, you can kind of create these meaningful solutions. Innovation should be able to thrive and collaboration should flourish. So if you also want to learn more about the open economy, that's kind of our slogan / mission at Scroll. Again, I'll be doing any questions, etc. afterwards as well. So our goal at Scroll, especially at the moment, and you've probably been seeing it with a lot of other layer 2s and just general projects across the board, is a big focus on payments and stablecoins. So we want to make digital payments work as smoothly as the internet. So today, payments are still kind of locked inside closed networks. They depend on intermediaries, and it's pretty slow to move money across borders and expensive, and often excludes people who don't have access to banks. So Scroll changes that by providing infrastructure where stablecoins can move instantly, globally, and at very low cost. And it's not just about faster transactions, it's also about giving everyone access to reliable financial tools. So we're working on creating these financial rails that anyone can use, whether they're a large business or just for personal use. Aim is to make paying on-chain feel as easy as tapping a card. So as you can see, open payment should be global, instant, low cost. You can trust it, it's accessible, and the infrastructure is interoperable. So this is where layer 2 try to bring some real world utility to payments. I'm going to use some examples, go through some kind of case studies and what we've been working on at Scroll. So EtherFi is a decentralized non-custodial liquid restaking protocol on Ethereum. Specifically their cash card, as you can see, I wish I brought a physical one to show you guys, but I left that home, so sorry. But essentially the cash card specifically is built on Scroll. We announced and launched this back, I'd say maybe about 3-4 months ago. And since then we've had over $230 million in total value locked and over $66 million in total spent. So it's not available in every country, but we've just recently opened it up to places in Africa. The kind of most popular place with EtherFi Cash Card is actually in Brazil. So DevConnect, if you guys know DevConnect, it's a big Ethereum event in LATAM. It happens every year in November time. We go there every year. We'll be there in Argentina this year, in Buenos Aires. And so we're going to be going out there pretty early to also go to Brazil and essentially try and meet the big spenders with EtherFi Cash Card in Brazil, as well as Argentina. And meet with a bunch of builders and founders too. I think it's a great example of how practical on-chain payments have kind of grown and evolved. It's essentially a crypto-native credit card. So whether that's paying for coffee, paying your bills, you can pay your taxes with it. It really is that easy. And you also get, I believe at the moment, it's 3% cash back with Scroll token. So whatever you spend, you get 3% cash back. When users spend with the EtherFi Cash Card, transactions are settled on Scroll quickly and very cheaply. So one thing I'll say about Scroll is, as much as there are hundreds and hundreds of layer 2s out there, Scroll's tech is what makes us stand out. It's the reason why we always have the Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik, tweeting and supporting what we're doing. So it kind of is a good, showcase of how good our tech actually is. So like I said, people can buy coffee, pay bills, shop online while keeping all their transactions fully on chain, and it turns crypto from something you hold into something you can actually use. If you have also any questions about ETHFI, I can put you guys in touch with the team or just help you answer. Also want to talk about our somewhat recent tech upgrades, so Euclid and Stage 1. So this all happened around April/May. So Euclid upgrade was actually pretty much our biggest upgrade, I think, up to date. So essentially improved all performance, speeding up proof generation, lowering fees, and moving us, I think that's okay. And then also moving us obviously closer to full decentralization as a network. So key features: enhanced proof speed, roll-up finality, and modular data availability. And then Stage 1, we were actually the first ZK roll-up to reach Stage 1, which this is something that Vitalik has spoken about a lot and voiced a lot online, is he doesn't consider layer 2s a layer 2 unless they are at least Stage 1. And so yeah, now that we've hit Stage 1, again back in April/May, we're working super hard on the tech and engineering team to get to Stage 2 as soon as possible. But obviously we want to do it correctly. If you look on websites like L2Beat, you'll see a lot of other projects are following closely to either have already hit Stage 1 as well or are working towards it. But one thing you'll notice is that a lot of these layer 2s end up hitting Stage 1 and then having to kind of circle back because the tech wasn't fully ready. So we've been holding very strong in terms of that. So with Stage 1, it's introduced permissionless proving, which essentially means anyone can help verify the network, essentially making the system more open and secure. And then for payments specifically, this is obviously a huge step forward for us. It gives users faster settlement, better reliability, and a stronger trust model. So Euclid and Stage 1 has really kind of made Scroll ready for real-world scale. Cloak. So Cloak is something we've again, somewhat recently announced, I would say about a month ago, which is essentially our privacy layer on Scroll for all transactions. So essentially protects sensitive details like sender, receiver, and amount while keeping the system transparent when needed. So this balance between privacy and compliance is obviously important for both users and businesses. So most people, don't really want secrecy. They want control over what they share. And then, this is why we created Cloak, essentially, is to kind of give users that control. So it can be applied per transaction. Privacy is obviously optional and flexible, but with Cloak, payments on Scroll are now private, compliant, and secure all at the same time. Oh, sorry again, I keep touching. Awesome. So yeah, ZK-based privacy for transactions, preserves compliance while hiding counterparties/amounts, and integrates with stablecoin and card rails. So another thing you'll be seeing across the board is a lot of projects are focusing heavily on stablecoins at the moment. That's what I've seen going to some of these bigger events like ETH Denver, ETHCC. The reason I'm a bit slow today is because for the past 2 weeks I've been out in Asia. So I went to Kuala Lumpur because we have something called Open Campus. This is a slight caveat, but we have something called Open Campus where essentially we have this, I guess you can call it a co-working space, and we essentially invite founders to come build, and we kind of take them, well, at least with season 1 and season 2, we took them basically from start to finish, so creating an MVP, and then even taking them all the way through to like growth of the project and marketing and things like that. So across the entire board. And so we've had 2 seasons of that in Kuala Lumpur thus far. Season 2 just ended, which is why I was out in Malaysia about 3 weeks ago, and then 2 weeks ago I was in Korea for Korea Blockchain Week, and then Singapore for Token 2049. So yeah, essentially the point I'm trying to make is a lot of projects are very bullish on committing to stablecoins and improving payments. So this is kind of where, I guess, where all of this sparks from. Now, the problem with today's stablecoins. So typically, low or pretty volatile returns, no privacy, and pretty complex to spend. So everything I've kind of discussed thus far has, kind of coming together to form this new payment infrastructure. The combination of the Euclid upgrade, stage 1, Cloak especially, and something I'll talk about shortly is USX, which is our actually very, very recently announced stablecoin on Scroll. And yeah, again, to kind of say it again, we want to make payments fast, private, and easy to use. I feel like cash, literal cash, has been dying. And what made cash great at the time was it was private, right? Like no one's tracking you paying for your coffee with cash. It's spendable. Again, 99% of places take cash, and it's simple, no fees, nothing complex to do with paying with cash. However, what was now trying to replace cash, for example, credit cards, they can tend to charge high fees. Stable coins at this stage are not very spendable IRL, and then other on-chain assets don't really have the privacy aspect either. So digital money, I guess, going back to cash being private, spendable, and simple, digital money seems to have kind of killed all three of those things. And then again, when I speak about USX, this is where USX comes in. But before I get into USX, going back to kind of Scroll's mission, just making payments and blockchain payments specifically accessible to everyone is kind of super important for us. And we're moving from kind of theory into now practice, from isolated DeFi apps to now real world payments. And so this is hopefully what it'll look like when blockchain becomes part of everyday finance. So USX, this is the USX logo. It looks a bit like a smiley face. It's the first spendable, private, and gasless, we call it Neo Dollar. So I'll go into here, introducing USX, the first Neo Dollar, everything you expect from money, and a little bit more. So essentially, we've combined TradFi and DeFi strategies to be able to give an intrinsic fundamental return and yield of 12%, obviously estimated, but also can be more depending on some certain incentives and partnership programs that we will have coming out. USX itself is not actually live yet, but the reason I wanted to kind of talk about it briefly is just because we have a lot of faith in USX. We feel like there's no such thing as the perfect stablecoin, but we think this is as close as we can get to that. So we'll also be zero gas fees pretty soon, obviously powered by ZK Tech. We will be incorporating our privacy layer Cloak within USX as well, so privacy we built in. It's fully collateralized and one-to-one redeemable with USDC. Again, fully on-chain. We hope that USX provides that stability needed for everyday payments and transfers, and also, I guess, to the open global financial system as well. So, powered by Scroll ZK Tech, built in privacy with Cloak, and you can also scan the QR code if you want to join the waitlist, or just check out the website and learn more about USX as well. So we announced this about a week and a half ago-ish at Stablecoin Summit during Token 2049 in Singapore. We had a bunch of interest. I believe we'll be opening it up. Pre-deposits will go live next week. So it should be about a 35 million USD cap. Again, if you have any questions, especially as things evolve, things may change. But again, if you want to learn more, grab my TG afterwards, and I'd be more than happy to discuss this or jump on a call at any point. But yeah, pre-deposits will go live next week, so we're extremely excited to be launching this. And yeah, also if anyone's building a project, I think with Open Campus Season 3, again, we'll be in Kuala Lumpur, so you will have to travel there, but we'll be doing a year-long program for 2026. It should be starting around end of February throughout 2026. So I believe applications will be open next month. If you're building a project or building any sort of consumer app and want to take part in Open Campus, again, just let me know and I can put you through and give you the application. So yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you again, Maciej, for inviting me here. Hopefully I'll come back, give you guys some updates on what we're doing at Scroll. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you.